Hello everyone and welcome back to the Synergy Sanctum. My name is Justin. Thank you so much for stopping by. Here at the Synergy Sanctum, we specialize in all things related to Magic the Gathering with a specific focus on deck building. So I aim to show you very quick deck techs that'll show you all of the cards in the deck and how they work together to ultimately achieve the goals of that deck. If you're not already, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate that. And we also have a sister channel now, so head on over to Commander Coliseum and check out their content as well. And for today's deck tech, we have another Halloween deck for everyone around zombies with Temmet, Naktamun's Will at the helm. This is an EDH focused build with zombie tribal. Temmet says that he has vigilance and menace, and whenever you attack you get to draw a card and then discard a card, and when you draw, zombies you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. All three colors with white, blue, and black. This commander seems disgusting with zombies, and swarming the board with them and then being able to boost them just off of a draw seems really, really broken. And we are doing this on a budget today of $127 to $177 TCG market value. And we are running 36 lands, with 17 of those being basics between the three colors and 19 of those being non-basics. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be loading up the board with the zombies, all of the good zombies in Magic that I could find at this budget, and then we're going to be having additional payoffs and good stuff for them to get benefits off of and ultimately swinging out. So, to get us started today, here is our first suite of zombies. We are running a Grave Titan because he brings in 2 zombies anytime he enters or attacks. Diregraph Colossus, every time you're casting a zombie spell, you're creating a tap 2/2 black zombie creature token. Eternal Okitra cares about the same thing. When you cast a creature spell, you get a 4/4 zombie instead. Diregraph Captain is giving them an additional boost, and then when they die, every opponent loses a life. Ghoulcaller Gissa is going to sack one to create even more based off of that power. Death Baron's giving them the boost and the death touch. Garoth Visionary Stitcher is giving them all flying, which is really good. They'll be unblockable most of the time with that. And you can also sack another token to make an XX blue zombie based off of its toughness. Crit Breaker is letting you discard to make one, and then it's also letting you tap 3 untap ones to draw, so some more draw there. Endless Ranks of the Dead is an enchantment that says at the beginning of your upkeep you get to create a 2/2 black zombie creature token, where X is half the number of zombies you control. Super broken. And then Corpse Augur on the slide here, when it dies you get to draw X cards and lose X life, where X is the number of creature cards in target player's graveyard. So depending on the board state and where you're at in the game, this might be you, or it might be someone else that might be playing a graveyard synergy deck. And then there's even more zombies in the deck. We have Prophet of the Scarab, which says that when it enters, you get to draw cards equal to the number of zombies you control, or the number of zombie cards in your graveyard. Headless Rider, super sick art here for Halloween, and when he or another non-token zombie dies, you get to create more zombies. Noxious Ghoul says that when it or another zombie enters, other non-zombie creatures get -1 until end of turn. And then the alternate kind of commander in that pre-con for Aetherdrift where Temmet was is Hashaton's Scarab's Fist, and he says whenever you discard a creature card you can pay 3, 2, and a blue, and if you do you get to create a tap token that's a copy of the card you discarded, except it's a 4/4 black zombie, so you're not really losing the value there if you do happen to discard a zombie. Midnight Reaper is getting you draw when a non-token creature you control dies. Grim Grin Corpseborn, another zombie here. He enters tapped and he doesn't untap during your untap step, but you can sack a creature to untap him and give him a boost, and then when he attacks target creature defending player, you get to destroy one that a defending player controls, and he gets another counter. She's getting bigger off of all these things. Lost Monarch of Ifnir has Afflict 3, and then other zombies have Afflict 3, and Afflict 3 is basically when this creature becomes blocked, that defending player is going to lose 3 life, so it's discouraging blocks when your zombies attack. Gravecrawler, when he dies, you got recursion, so he's a perfect sack outlet if you need it, or just something that, you know, can keep attacking and dying, you're not really worried about it. Lord of the Undead is super, super good. He's giving a boost, so he's a lord for the zombies, but for 2 mana, you can also return one from the graveyard to your hand, and then Graveborn Muse is more draw at the beginning of your upkeep, based on the number of zombies you control. And then getting more zombies, like as if that's not enough, we've got another whole slide or two of zombies here. Zulashur Lich Lord says that you can tap it to cast a zombie creature card from your graveyard this turn. Unstoppable Slasher, super broken. If it connects, that player is going to lose half their life rounded down, or up rather. Zombie Master is giving them Swamp Walk and also giving them regeneration. Undead War Chief is a mana discounter for zombies and he boosts them as well. Will Help the Rock Cleaver. This card's so broken. When another zombie you control dies, if it didn't have Decayed, you just get to create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed, and then at the beginning of your end step, you can sack a zombie to draw a card, so you just replenishes your zombies dying. Super broken there. Undead Augur is more draw when it or another zombie dies. The Wayward Servant says when another zombie enters under your control, each opponent loses a life and you gain. Scarab God is so good here. Beginning of your upkeep, each opponent's losing life based on the number of zombies you have, and then you can exile a card to create a copy of it, and that copy is a zombie as well. Varina Lich Queen says that whenever you attack with one or more zombies, you get to draw that many cards and discard that many and then gain that much life. She can also exile cards to create more zombies. And then Rise of the Dreadmarn, while it's not a creature, it creates a bunch of zombies based off of the number of creatures that died this turn. So you're playing this after a board wipe or when the board gets cleared of all these creatures. Radadrabic of Urborg. There we go. Another zombie here. He's giving all of your zombies vigilance, and then when another legendary one dies, you get to create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a zombie. Lord of the Accursed is giving them all menace. Dread Summons is causing everyone to mill, and then you get to create a zombie token for every creature that was put in from that. And then finally, Cemetery Reaper is rounding us out here. He's boosting them all, and then for 3 mana, you can exile a creature card to create a zombie token. So as you can see, there is just so much potential here to make a whole swarm of zombies and swing out the board, and all of these like additional effects on each of them. It's just going to make this gameplay really, really crazy and different every time. And then moving into the good stuff in the deck, so we're running a Vault of the Archangel to give them all lifelink and death touch. Patriarch's Bidding is letting you choose zombie, and each player gets to bring those back. Unholy Grotto, for a single black, you can put a zombie from your graveyard on top of your library. Super broken. Tortured Existence lets you kind of trade them out, so for a black you can discard a zombie and then bring one back to your hand from the graveyard. Gissa and Geralf say that when they enter, you mill 4 cards, and then once during each of your turns, you can cast a zombie from the graveyard. Accursed Dune Yard is letting you regenerate a target zombie. Victimize is letting you trade 2 creatures in the graveyard for 1 on the battlefield. And then Rise of the Dark Realms is bringing everybody back from all the graveyards. And then some draw on the deck, lots more draw in addition to everything that was on the zombies we discussed. So Vanquisher's Banner, anytime you're casting when you're drawing, it's giving them a boost also. Keep Watch is really decent card for 3 mana. For every creature that's attacking, you get to draw a card, pretty good. Pact of the Serpent, you would probably choose zombie, and you can either drain somebody out for the win or draw a bunch of cards yourself. Empty the Laboratory requires you to sack X, and then you get to reveal the top X cards until you reveal that many zombies, and then you get to put those on the battlefield. So broken. Kindred Discovery and Distant Melody care about the type that you're choosing for the creatures, then you get to draw based off of those specific effects. Deadly Disputes giving you a treasure and 2 draw at the cost of sacking an artifact or creature. Village Rites requires you to sack a zombie and you draw 2 cards. And then we're running Brainstorm and Braid Surge, which lets you draw 3 to 4, and then you get to put them back in any order, but you get to keep 1. And then removal in the deck, so pretty decent amount of removal in these 3 colors. So we're running a Toxic Deluge as our board wipe, a Generous Gift and Stroke of Midnight to deal with those problem permanents. In addition, we've got Dispark. If it's a permanent that's 4 mana value or higher, you get to get rid of it. Anguish Unmaking lets you exile 1. And then our counter spells in the deck are Negate, Dovin's Veto, and an Offer You Can't Refuse for any non-creature spells you might run into. And then finally, our mana in the deck. So we are running a Soul Ring, and we are running Dark Ritual and Chromatic Lantern for the mana fixing there, and Arcane Signet will get us one of any color. And then Rooftop Storm. This seems pretty expensive at 6 mana, but this card is disgusting. It is turning all of your zombie creatures that you are casting into 0 mana cost casts. So basically any zombie creature you're going to cast, if this is out, you pay 0 rather than paying the mana cost, so you could just flood the board even more. Crowded Crypt is really good as well. Anytime a creature dies, it's getting a corpse counter, and you can sack it to create that many zombies with Decayed for each corpse counter on it, and it's a rock. And with that, our show has come to an end. Thank you so much for watching our video, and if you enjoyed that video, feel free to share it out with any friends who might find value in it as well. Thank you so much for stopping by. We hope to see you again soon. Have a good one.